Hey, what's going on, everybody? We got the Bonafide XTR130 back behind us. This is the Andros Green, dual chair setup, Newport NK300 motor off the rear, and we're going to be swapping out the stock foot peg system for the new Wizard FCS system, and we'll just do a quick rundown of the install process on this. It's super simple, and we'll just do cut by cut for how you can do it, so all you guys out there can do it on yours as well. Let's get into it. All right, when you get your box, you're going to have a little pamphlet here with a QR code you can scan in for your phone and get a full install video from Bonafide themselves if you want to use that. You're going to get your rails in your Wizard FCS slides. These are on 4 ball bearings here, and you can adjust the bottom 2 here for different tensions. It also has a line guide on it as well, so you get a full set of those. You're going to get your new Spectra cable as well, 2 pieces of that. And then in here, the hardware, we're going to have new bolts to put the rails in the boat. And then we're also going to have new rudder line nipples here that we can install if you don't want to run full tubing throughout the boat. We can go ahead and use these as well. And then we'll also have a couple bump stops here if you want to fully stop the system, or you can put the bump stops in for when you're by yourself to set your line's tension perfectly tight and centered on your motor. So let's get into the install. To remove your old foot pegs, Phillips head screwdriver. Super simple. All of you guys should have one of these around. Just like that. The old rail is off. Repeat it for the other side, and then we'll put the new Wizard FCSs on. All right, out of the package, get your 4 big bolts. This is what you're going to install the new FCS rail with. You're going to put the elongated slot towards your seat, and the small one at the very front where you're the furthest away from your feet. Leave this first one just nice and snug so you can rotate this one up and get it aligned. And then tighten it down. And you can see now we got the foot peg and everything installed. Repeat the same thing for the other side. Now we'll go ahead and drill and run our lines. Okay, now grab your nipple line guides. Go ahead and make a mark both sides of your boat where you want these to protrude out. I'm using a 5/16 drill bit here. Now go ahead and grab your line guide and tap it in.
The magic of television, people.
Nice and tight. So now you got your line guides ran through there. Based on this specific platform, I'm going to go ahead and take this line guide off, and we're going to rotate it vertical because this will be a better angle for it to come into the guide. So let me show you how to do that real quick. Okay, to adjust this upward for a different trajectory for your line, take your bolt back out, another Phillips head screwdriver, remove this screw in the back, and pop this end cap off, and we're going to rotate it vertical. Then screw it back on. Now our line guide lines up better with this, and it'll be straight out of here, through here, into the peg itself. Then just take your bolt and put the peg back on. Match that up to the other side if you need it done. Okay, now we're at the rear. We're going to do our rear line guide, our nipple guides. This system right here, we want the lines to go through here, so we're going to offset and put our nipples out here. So when the lines come out, they'll go straight through this O into the steering column for the motor. If you want them to run on the interior, just put them wherever you want. Once again, we're going to drill it out and then tap them in. Rinse and repeat, do it on the other side, and you'll have all your line studs in. Okay, so since these aren't tubes, these are just line nipple guides, we're going to have to remove the hatch here so we can feed our Spectra in from the front, grab it, and then feed it back out the tubes. So you will need to take your back access panel off. Undo all 4 bolts so you can get your hand in here. Okay, now that you got your back access panel off, we'll start feeding the Spectra line from the front. We'll feed it on here, but it allows us to grab it and put it right on through. So we're ready to go in the rear now. All right, when feeding your Spectrum line through, make sure you have it through your guide line first. If you're doing it by yourself, it helps to have a piece of wire, then a little piece of tape to connect it. And we're gonna fish it in from this side so we can go ahead and grab it and pull it through from our access hatch in the back. And if things go according to plan, here it is. Pull your wire on out. And your Spectrum line should be attached. Go ahead and get rid of your line. Then come in here, and you're going to feed it from your inside of the nipple to the outside of your guide line. There we go. And there we have our lines ran. So now we'll go up front, tie them to the foot pegs, then we'll come back here and tie them to our steering column, and we'll have a FCS system installed. Okay, now we get to feed the Spectra line into the foot peg system. We have 2 imports here. You have 2 slots here, one a lower and an upper, depending on the attack angle for your line. For this one, I'm going to do the upper, and then on the spin knob here, this is what holds your line on the spool. You can see we have one spot here where this is going to come out, and that's where we're going to tie our knot. I'm going to use the upper portion. And I like to get a little hook grabber. That way it bends it straight up, right out the top. And then we're going to push this right on through, like so. I like to come here, tie my knot off. Then get rid of the fat, pull that back through. Then come here with the scissors, trim that off, and we're attached up front here, and all I gotta do is spool it up. Okay, now we're gonna wind our spool here. We can usually do about 4 wraps with it, so pull it out, and then just start rotating. It's gonna click every about inch of rotation of string. And we're gonna just do about 4 wraps. And then that'll give us plenty of play to go anywhere we want on the rail. Then we're gonna go to the back now and we'll tie it up to the motor and we'll be done. Okay, before running your lines here in the back directly to your triangle, your steering mechanism, get something thin, come in here, pin the motor so it can't go left or right onto you. Then you can come back here, attach it to your quick disconnect carabiners, tie your favorite knot, and you'll have your rudder lines ran. Lastly, come back here, put your plate on, screw it together, and you have your rudder system installed. We'll show you how they work now when you got your buttery smooth steering up front for your motors. Okay, here's the back of the connections. We've tied it to our steering tree for the motor back here. Tie whatever knot you like. Up front now, I'll go move the pegs and Justin will show you the smoothness of the motor back there. And there's 4 ball bearings in these, so you can see super smooth. And you don't have to slide it that far whatsoever to get the motor to go left and right. So awesome, awesome system. Hope this helps you guys if you're looking to install a Wizard FCS system. These can be applied to multiple other boats. Just gonna have to do a couple mods here and there, but this is just the baseline rundown for the Bonafide XTR. If you have any questions, let me know. Hope this helps you guys out. Y'all be good.